Hey, welcome back to The Explainer. If you've ever found yourself just staring at a blank page, feeling that huge weight of a big research project, well, you are definitely in the right place. Over the next few minutes, we are going to turn that anxiety into a clear, step-by-step plan for your next big breakthrough. Yeah, does this feel familiar? If you're nodding your head right now, don't worry. That feeling is completely normal. Our whole goal here is to give you a roadmap, a framework, so you can stop feeling stuck and start moving forward with some real confidence. So, first things first, every great journey needs a starting point. For research, we need to find your North Star, that one big idea that's going to guide you through this whole process. I can't stress this enough. Choosing your topic isn't just a small step. It's the foundation for everything that comes after. If you get this part right, the whole thing changes from this scary chore into a genuinely interesting journey of discovery. Now, real quick, let's just clarify what we're actually building here. A research proposal, which is probably what you're working on, is basically you outlining your plan. It's written in the future tense, like this is what will be done. The dissertation, on the other hand, is the final report on your completed research, written in the past tense. This is what was done. For now, we're all about nailing that proposal. All right, next up, the title. Now, this is way more than just a label you slap on at the end. A great title is like a super condensed summary of your entire project. Think of it as naming your destination on a map before you even take the first step. So, what makes a title great? Well, you want to keep it short and sweet. Under 12 words is the gold standard. For instance, a study on social media is kind of weak, right? But something like the impact of Instagram use on adolescent self-esteem, now that tells you exactly what's being studied. And a couple of pro tips. Definitely avoid abbreviations, and this is a weird one, but it's true, never end your title with a period. The actual words you choose for that title matter a ton. Just look at this table. Simple keywords can signal your entire intention. You use a positive word like significance, and you're suggesting you're exploring a benefit. Use a word like impact, and it hints you're looking at a consequence. And relationship? Well, that one's pretty obvious. You're looking for a connection. Okay, with a working title in mind, we're moving on to the absolute heart of your project, defining the research problem. This is the why. Why are you doing this? It's all about mapping the terrain and showing exactly why your journey is necessary. So what exactly is a research problem? You can think of it as a gap in our knowledge, either a theoretical puzzle or a real-world difficulty that you want to find a solution for. You know, like why a certain marketing strategy isn't working, or why we don't understand how a specific historical event unfolded. I absolutely love this quote because it is so true. Seriously, spending the time to clearly and precisely state your problem is the best investment you can make in your project. If you nail this part, it makes every other decision, what data to collect, how to analyze it, so much easier. A fantastic way to structure the background for your problem statement is using what's called the funnel method. You start really broad, and then you systematically narrow your focus, guiding the reader right to the specific gap you plan to fill. Let's try it with an example, maybe something on remote work. So you start at the widest part of the funnel, the global view. Using our remote work example, you'd begin by talking about the huge global shift towards remote work that happened after 2020. This sets the big picture, the widest possible context. Next, you start to narrow that funnel. You bring the issue closer to home. How has remote work specifically impacted, say, the tech industry in North America? See? The problem is already becoming more focused and tangible. And finally, you get to the very tip of the funnel. This is the big reveal. You describe the specific issue and clearly state the research gap. For instance, while we know remote work affects well-being, very little research has focused on its specific impact on junior software developers within U.S. tech startups. Boom! There it is. That's your gap. Okay, once you've found your gap, you need to plot your course to fill it. And you do that with your research objectives. These are the specific, actionable steps you're going to take to solve the problem you've so clearly identified. You'll typically have one general objective. That's the big overall goal of your study, which usually mirrors your title. Then, branching off from that, you'll have several specific objectives. Think of those as the smaller, concrete targets you have to hit along the way to achieve that main goal. The absolute best way to write good objectives is to make them SMART. And no, that's not just some corporate jargon. It's a really powerful checklist. Your objectives need to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This framework keeps your research focused, realistic, and on track. And finally, Let's talk about the value of your destination. It's not enough to just do the research. You have to be able to explain why anyone should care about it. This is all about the significance of your study. Your significance section really needs to answer 3 key questions. Why is this important? Who does it matter to? And what good will come out of it? This is your chance to really sell the so what of your project and prove its value to the world. All right, that was a lot, I know. We went from a blank page all the way to a full-blown research plan. So let's just quickly boil it all down to the 3 most important takeaways you need to remember. Number 1, your foundation is a crystal clear problem statement. Remember, a problem that is well stated is already half solved. Number 2, structure your background like a funnel. Go from that big global picture all the way down to the specific gap you're going to fill. And 3, your objectives are your roadmap. Make them smart, and you'll keep your project on track and actually achievable. So, I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have this framework, what's the one thing you are genuinely passionate about figuring out? What question do you really want to answer? That's your North Star. That's your starting point. Hey, if this guide helped you out, do us a favor and subscribe to The Explainer for more breakdowns like this one. And more importantly, let us know in the comments what we should break down for you next. Thanks so much for watching.